So the next component of a momentum mindset is what I call managing your attention. And even as we were prepping for this, you're like, what does that mean?
I don't think we've ever really formally talked about it before.
And like I say, this is one of the newer concepts that I have been thinking about and really, really spending a lot of time in. And it started with, we're alive. We are a biologic organism.
Mm-hmm.
And all organisms in biology have feedback.
Mm-hmm.
The way that they navigate through their existence is through a series of feedback loops.
Mm-hmm.
You put certain outputs into the world. It generates certain inputs back, which then generate the same or different outputs. And it's this loop. And we have them very dynamically interwoven on many, many different levels.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just humans. Trees don't grow up like a pencil because they're constantly getting feedback from the outside world on where the more optimal angle is to get the sun that it's craving, and it's bending. When we drive in a straight line, we're constantly making micro adjustments, even though we're driving straight. Because in milliseconds, our brain is getting thousands of data points, making micro adjustments. And I started thinking about a momentum building mindset with this topic, like what allows people to have so much positive upward momentum? Because as I see it, momentum exists, and it's either punishing you,
Yeah.
like you just can't do anything right.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a rut. I'm stuck. We have all kinds of words for
Downward spiral.
Downward spiral.
Mm-hmm.
It's all just negative momentum, wheels falling off, like I'm off the bus. And then we have positive momentum. But what is the science and strategy behind getting into a positive momentum cycle? And I really believe that it comes down to your attention, which is building kind of off the gap in the gain, right?
Yeah.
So if your attention is primarily on the gap, which is where you are in comparison to where you would like to be, that is a negative experience. And so when your measurement is always a negative feedback, it creates a negative momentum.
Yes.
But conversely, by focusing on the gain, that is a positive progress, positive feedback. Hey, we should do that more. Hey, and then the more we do that, the more we get a positive feedback. Let's double down, which is why people who are flying through life seemingly, it seems effortless. And it kind of is.
Yeah.
Because they have so much momentum, positive momentum harnessed. All they do is throw out a kite, a sail, and it's just, they've created that tailwind in life, that proverbial tailwind. Whereas when you're stuck, you could have the biggest sail in the world and you can't catch a breeze, And so practically speaking, like what has your attention has you. We're all taught that like life, work, balance, you need time off but is time really what creates happiness? Is time alone? Is time in isolation? Time off? Time away? I'm not sure.
I'm not either.
I've been on the beach before, vacation, and all I can think about is how hard my life is not at the beach. And I don't know anybody who's come back from a vacation and been like, man, that was really nice. It didn't feel like a vacation. I feel like I need a vacation from my vacation.
I was just going to say, how many times have we said that?
And how many moms and dads work their face off during the week only to go to the weekends and dread, like a combination of licking their wounds and dreading going back to work, where they're there, but they're not.
Yeah.
They're there physically, but in their mind, their attention has been completely hijacked. It's not on the kiddos in the pool. It's not with your spouse at dinner. Oh, honey, what'd you say? I'm sorry. I was just the presenteeism where you're there, but I really believe whatever has your attention, you are giving your highest gift. And the other side of that is true too. Like when you've been with somebody, you're with your spouse, and he is just locked in on you. And there's no one else in the world but you. Oftentimes, he doesn't have to say a word. You're like, I am on this man's mind.
Oh, yeah. It's palpable.
As a spouse, I don't know of a greater sense of certainty, connection, connectivity. It's a very intimate offering.
Yeah.
And you don't always get it. I don't always give it. But working that muscle of intentionality, of being really, really present in the moment. We try to do that with our patients. Give me your thoughts on this, because it's newer for you. This is a newer, I'm just dropping it live right here.
I think it's a wonderful concept. And I think, I can't think of anybody that doesn't need to work on this, myself included. Social media is a huge distraction for so many people. And that goes back to the gap in the gain with, are you using social media as your comparison tool for your goals? And if you don't meet the goal of somebody else, especially like all of these fitness people, you look and you evaluate your fitness progress or your diet and body progress on how they look, and 9 times out of 10 it's not even real. But if you're sitting there scrolling for hours upon hours of the day and not really focusing your attention on the essential things, your health, your spiritual walk, your marriage, your friendships, the things that are most important in life deserve your full attention.
You can unknowingly give your most precious asset, your attention, away to non-essential things, and then you're left with nothing attention-wise for the most essential things. And what ends up happening is you end up, a lot of that social media kind of behavior, attention numbing, it's mindlessness, it's just escapism. Mindless TV watching, garbage TV, just internet scrolling. You're not even giving that your attention. You're just hoping for a dopamine hit. It's a numbing process in hopes that at the end of the numbing process, somehow there'll be a new bucket of attention to give the things that are most important. I just really think this is a newer concept, but a really critical one to begin to start trying to communicate to folks. I would encourage anyone who feels like this is resonating with them to really audit what in their life they're giving the majority of their attention. Because I don't know that there's a bigger gift you could give yourself than to be fully present, to know yourself.
Yeah.
And frankly, I think it's time for some people to stop blaming a memory, to stop blaming the economy or bad luck, and just be more accountable for how present they actually are in their real life.
Yeah. It's happening right now to you.
Right now. Like the humans that I've had the privilege of taking care of, and I'm one of them, we make up the past just like we make up the future. It's all made up.
Yeah.
It's just our version of the past. It's just our version or our ideal of the future. The only thing that's real is right now.
Yeah.
This moment here. And in this moment, what am I giving my attention to? And how can I use that to create positive momentum to notice progress?
Yeah.
That will unlock the joy and the happiness and allow you to appreciate who you are, who you're becoming, and the world that is actually around you.
Yeah.
To be present.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I can work on this myself.
Oh my gosh. So can I, and that brings up a great point as we were prepping and talking about this. This is a wonderful point you brought up. This is a muscle, right?
It's a muscle, yeah.
Absolutely.
Even going back to the gap in the gain, you touched on it that to fall in the gap is not unrealistic. To never fall into the gap, right? We're going to
That's another
do
ideal,
it.
by the way. That's another ideal horizon. You will never not be able to 100% not fall in the gap.
But you have to train your gain muscle to always say,
to notice it and then immediately get out of it.
Yep. And it's the same with this. Like you've said, whatever has your attention has you.
Yes.
And I don't want to be kept like that. I mean, I want to be fully present in my own life with my spouse, with my work family, my family. And so they deserve the best part of that, of me.
100%. And I think
but it takes training.
It starts with just noticing, wow, I have been off for 4 days, but I have not actually been present at all with just notice it. Don't beat yourself up. Be gracious. Be kind. And then you start getting better at noticing it. Then you can start applying, well, why am I giving so much of my attention to this thing?
Yeah.
And is there a deeper thing that we need to fix? Is there something I need to cut out of my life. Boy, if you give something your attention, you're given all that you have. There's not a higher gift you could give someone.
Right.